All right, guys, check it out. We're here at the Qualcomm Stadium. This is where they hold the race legal event. And today we're going to talk about sleepers, all right? So here's an ISF, over 400 horsepower, not a sleeper. We got a couple Camaros over here, also not sleepers. What we brought here today is what I want to contend is the ultimate sleeper. All right, now there's some good sleepers out there. I used to have a Pontiac Grand Prix that no one expected it to do much, and it's a fast car, but it takes some mods to get it going fast. The top of my list right now would probably be the Ford Show, the Ford Taurus Show. Just looks like a Taurus, but it's twin turboed, and that car is an ultimate beast on the track. But this one, the BMW X3, I think we're going to give the show a run for its money because this just looks like a total soccer mom car. In fact, a lot of people call it that. This is my mom's car, but I'm going to show you guys why you should get one of these if you want to drag race. Now, it has a single turbo, but they call it twin power turbo because it has a two-stage thing, so you get that low-end torque coming on, like 1,300 RPMs, full on 100% of your torque coming on. We put an intake on it, and we put a JB4 stage 1, which is just the basic stage 1, doesn't adjust for race fuel or ethanol or anything like that, so everything else is bone stock on this car. And my goal tonight is to come out here and race 10 times and be 10-0. So let's see if we could pull that off. 10-0, we're not going to set up matchups, we're just going to get in line and just race whoever over here we happen to get against. This Hellcat, this old slicked out, not sure what that is. Now, cars like that, I don't know if I could beat, but any modern car, I don't care if it's a Lamborghini, Camaro, Hellcat, this car, I'm going to contend, will beat all these guys, all right? This thing is so torquey. Now, it's the 8th mile. There's a track way down here. It's the 8th mile, so it's not a quarter. In a quarter, some of these guys would beat this, but in the 8th mile, it's so torquey. I don't think there's a car out here that could hang with for seconds. Let's see if we're right. We're going to film each race. All right, so we're about to race a CTSV, 556 horsepower. We have 300 horsepower, but with our tune, we're probably pushing. Film him behind us, the CTSV. See if you can get him in the rear view. All right, one car down. 9 more to go.
Dave, you left him in the dust.
So that was, we beat him a little worse than I thought we were going to beat him, but that's what I'm talking about on the torque on this car. It's virtually unbeatable in the 8th mile. All right, he did a nice burnout this time. Get the rear in your rear view. See all that white smoke? So he knows he needs a better launch if he's going to beat us. We're racing the CTSV again. Oh, lots of smoke following us. So it's going to be tough to beat him twice in a row, because sometimes you can surprise somebody, but doing it twice is tough. We got him again. Film him on the car. So 2-0. I was trying to race somebody different, but they just so happened to line up against us again. But we got 8 more races. Go! We're racing I think this is a different CTSV. This is my mom's first race of the night. All right, it's over. And then you're gonna exit out of here. So far tonight, we're 3-0. And right here. 3-0, and we've raced 3 CTSVs. Me twice, my mom once. I think that was a different one though. Was the first one a 4-door we raced? I don't even know. That's a different one, yeah. So I didn't plan on racing 3 556 horsepower cars if they're stock. But that's what we got so far, so we'll take it. I couldn't have set this up any better. I told you guys this is the sleeper of all sleepers. I was not lying. So what's funny here, if you look at the car number 5203, it says winner. There's our car number. Yeah, you can go on that side. Well, the guy gave us the yellow slip because he just assumed that the CTSV beat us. He didn't look close enough, and he gave us the yellow slip. I do want to go back because I want all white slips tonight, but here's the proof. There's no red light. It says we're the winner. There's our car number. We ran the faster time. But it is funny because even this guy who was handing out the tickets saw the two cars coming and just gave us the loser slip. Alright, this time we're racing a Honda Accord. So you got to trip those two lights real slow. Stop, stop, slow, slow, slow. Just barely trip them. And then there you go. Stop, break it. Yes, so you're going to go on the third yellow. Go. He's actually not doing too bad. I mean, not much worse than the CTSV ones, but I didn't think he'd be too much of a problem. So my mom's 2-0 tonight. I'm 2-0. We got 6 more to go. All right, this is our 5th race. We're about to race, I believe it's called the RC. And this is the F edition, the Lexus RC, I believe it's RC. Trip those lights. This is a V8. It has about 420 horsepower around there. Stop there. I haven't seen these race yet, so it'll be interesting to see what they do. Go. Kind of pulling on the whole way, so good job. 5-0, good job. So you have the turn out here first. Nice car though, expensive car. I think those are about 70. But no match for the Soccer Mom X3. Oh, hit. All right, we get to race this 4-door CTSV again. I've got him twice, but my mom hasn't got to race him yet. She beat the coupe CTSV. So trip the lights. Don't rev yet. Don't rev yet. Wait for him to rev, because otherwise your car is the computer will keep it from revving. Okay, go ahead, rev. Go. He red lighted. He knows he has to get the jump on us. He's still, it's closer, but we still got him. So we're on a mission now to get gas because we're down to 4 miles left and we still have 4 races we need to win to be 10-0. So I underestimated how much gas we needed or how many runs we would get so quickly, but we'll get it and be back out there. All right, this one we're racing a Hemi V8 Charger. Slower. Just want to barely trip that light, and then you trip the second. Okay, now press a brake and start to rev. Go. All right, 1 more victim to add to our list. All right, this is going to be a good race. This is a BMW 335i. I can tell by his 1320 video sticker, he's into drag racing. He's probably highly modded. Now this has the N54 motor, which is a twin turbo V6. It's very similar to ours, which is the N55, which is a single turbo twin scroll V6. Both made the exact same horsepower number. They just work in different ways. But from my experience, this one is torquier off the line, whereas the N54 has more top end. But let's see. Hold on. He's telling him something, so don't rev yet. Hold on, just let off. Okay, go ahead and rev. Go. I'm taking it he was rear-wheel drive because he is way back there. I think something happened. He just launched and we didn't see him again. So this is the guy we just raced. N54 twin intakes tune. I don't know what happened to his car though. It's not quite running right, but it looks pretty nice.
Steve TV.
All right, letting my mom race this one by herself. Just get her some practice solo.
Steve TV.
BMW X3 versus BMW X1.
To racing action right here on track 2. Here we go.
I'm not sure what the X1 has. I think it's a Turbo 4, but she definitely got it. All right, guys, that was our 9th race. We're 9-0, and what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna park the car. We've just been getting in line racing whoever we line up with, but we're gonna park the car now. We're gonna try to set up for our 10th and final match some cars that we shouldn't beat. So we want to get a really good car for our 10th race. So I'm gonna see if this Lambo or this M3 or somebody over here wants to race us. But we got to make this 10th and final win really legitimate, no question. So let's see what we can turn out for you guys. So here is our fortune cookie before we came to race tonight. It said, give it everything you got. So I don't know how Panda Express knew we were coming to race, but I gotta say, this is a pretty fitting fortune cookie to come before you go drag racing, calling out 10 cars to try and beat. So let's see if we could pull it off. If we do, we owe everything to Panda. Maybe we can get a sponsorship. All right, this is the Jaguar XKR. My buddy Alex, he showed up. I think we're gonna make this our 10th race. We also know a guy with the M3 coming. The Lambo, unfortunately, doesn't have numbers, so he's not registered to race. But supercharged V8 right here with a tune, high flow cat. I know him, I know his mods. He's pushing probably 500 horsepower. He's a fast car. This is gonna be a good run. It really comes down, in the past, it's come down to who gets the better launch, because he is no doubt a faster car. So we'll see if we get him off the launch. All right, we're gonna be running the Jaguar XKR. This will be our 10th run of the night. He's pretty modded. He has a downpipe, a better tune, a smaller pulley, intake, but we hopefully have the torque off the line. Get your dash real quick, Mom. We'll show you what we do when we launch, and then you could film Alex. Actually film Alex, and then you can go back to that. So we're maxing out our power gauge there. And we got the win against the XKR. But I heard him spinning, so I think he had some traction issues, but hey, we'll take the win any way we can get it in our grocery getter soccer mom car. That's what we were called tonight.
So
all right guys, this is going to be a good run. This is a 2016 Camaro. Film him, the car. SS Camaro. He's cammed, intake, exhaust, throttle body on E85. So he claimed he's putting down 500 to the wheels. That sounds like a lot to me for not being supercharged or turboed. Maybe 500 to the crank. I mean, I know that E85 really makes some serious power, and depending on what kind of cam he has. So we already got our 10 runs, our 10 wins on the night, so we met our goal. But we're trying to do 10 plus 1 just for the heck of it. Get a really fast car we shouldn't beat. See what happens. Win or lose, we're gonna have a good time. So let's see. Oh, I nailed that launch. Turn it more behind us. I don't think you can see him. He's coming pretty quick, but I just got the perfect launch. I think I'm gonna have a reaction trophy for that one. I think he's gonna be upset because he probably hasn't lost yet tonight. He was running low 8.0s and 8.1s, so I wasn't sure if we'd get him or not. But remember guys, the moral of the story is this: horsepower sells cars, but that right there, torque wins races. So when you have this turbo, this dual stage turbo that spools at 1250, 1300 RPMs, you get your max torque coming in. You're getting all your speed right off the bat. So there's nothing these high revving, high horsepower cars can do to catch us in an 1/8 mile. So stoplight to stoplight, this X3 is about as good as you're gonna ever get. So that's all I can say. You gotta go. All right.
I want a picture with you.
We missed your photo op, but they were doing her fastest. Let's see that, the trophy. First place modified level 3. I think that's the highest I think that's the highest level modified, but it's not pro. So good job.
I just want to say this is not a soccer mom vehicle. Even though it looks like it.
Okay guys, I hope you liked the video. As you can see, that X3 is the total beast, total sleeper. No one expects that. Again, I got cut off giving you those power numbers in one of the race. So it's 300 foot-pounds of torque, 300 horsepower. After the JB4 tune, you're looking around 340, 350 horsepower and about 350, 360 torque. Now, the AFE intake did take off about 1/10 of a second. I tested it with and without, so I imagine the AFE intake adds about 1/10 of a second, because the general rule is every 10 horsepower is going to drop you about 1/10 of a second in the 1/8 mile. So I'm imagining this, we're not pushing more than 350 horsepower, probably about 360, 370 torque. So we don't have a ton of power, but again, you don't need crazy power numbers to be good at drag racing. What you need is a torquey car, and then the two biggest factors beyond that is traction and reaction. All right, so as I like to say, traction, reaction in drag racing equals satisfaction. All right, you're going to be happy and win races if you can go out there with the torquey car, get a good launch, and just get that jump on people. It's going to be hard for them to catch up in an 1/8 mile or 1,000 foot or a 1/4 mile even. Now, if you're racing on the freeway or a mile run, you know, some of these Texas miles or top speed runs that they're doing, that's where your horsepower cars are going to be superior. Okay, we can't compete with Corvettes and CTSVs, you know, past 100 miles an hour. So racing from 100 to 150, they're going to beat us, and they're going to beat the lower horsepower cars. Most of you guys know that, but when do you ever really get to do that? Okay, you know, most of us, if we have a track bias, it's going to be an 1/8 mile or a 1/4 mile. But the fact is, guys, get the car, get a sleeper, torquey. It doesn't have to be all-wheel drive, okay? But if you can get some drag radials, get them. Some slicks even, those are even better. But drag radials should be sufficient. If you can't get that, make sure if you're running a street tire, lower your tire pressure. I see so many guys make that mistake. They're running 35, 40 PSI at the track. That's why you can't get traction. That's great for road coursing, for high speed. The more stiffer your sidewall, it's going to help your speed. But in drag racing, you need it to dip, to be soft, to hook into that pavement. So get your tire pressure down. If you're running street tires, low 20s. All right, so you can have a sleeper. You could be out there like us, surprising people. If you get that jump, reaction time, get some car that has traction, hooks up, not spinning its wheels, get something that's torquey, that gives you a good 0 to 60, and you're going to be able to dominate like we did at the track. Now, go ahead and put down there in the comments anything that you think is a better sleeper than the X3. We're going to go and test it out and see if there is something better as far as a sleeper goes. All right, don't say a Lamborghini, that ain't a sleeper, but something you think is not only just as fast, if not faster than the X3, and even more of a sleeper. Let's see if we could top it.